Let's just move on slightly in this article. So it came out last week. It reminded me of a previous article I remember a few years ago in The Cut, where it almost felt like the journalist or the interviewer was slowly skewering Meghan and slowly pulling her apart and almost deliberately embarrassing her. That was my inference from reading it, because there were some strange things in there. It wasn't just the, announcing me into a room, even though there was only two of us there. She mentioned that they sat at a prime table so other diners could see the three of us. She seemed to be insisting that, or seemed to be explaining that, she also wrote that Meghan is remarkably at ease with the surrealism of global celebrity. In fact, she seems to enjoy it. So what was your taking from this depiction of her in Harper's Bazaar?
Well, it's all about ego and vanity. I want to be seen by other people about my status. If it was me, I'd be doing the interview in a private room, a private dining room, not being gawped at by everybody else. So again, it's all about status, it's all about vanity, it's all about ego.
What about bravery?
I don't think it's bravery to be seen at the Polo Bar in Beverly Hills. I mean, that is a place where you go to be seen. This is total, not status, this is staging of Meghan's life. And she's genuinely, this is where you would go to get paparazzi'd. Everyone in the D-list celebrities go there to be seen and paparazzi'd. It just shows to me that this was never about privacy for Meghan, even though she continues to say, we wanted privacy, that's why we left the firm. Oh yeah, no. If you want privacy, you don't go to Beverly Hills at the best restaurant there where all the sort of celebrities hang out.
There was a celebrity they said that she spoke to. They didn't name that celebrity. Do you remember that? And I do know I've been out to Montecito, and I do know that they've bumped into John Travolta there before. Harry's had a little chat with John Travolta when they've been at the Polo Lounge as well. So it's a great place. The Polo Lounge is a great celebrity hangout. We're talking about bravery. So there's another quote here from this article where she's talking about her children and jam. And she says, I hope they see the value of being brave. They saw it when the jam was just a pot on the stove bubbling.
I don't even know really what that means. I'm so sorry. I mean, what does that mean? That goes completely over my head. And it just goes back to the narrative that she's talking nonsense. I mean, really? Jam?
Jam's very important to her, and it's kind of defined or kind of explaining how brave she is with this project.
Yeah, thanks, Matt, for that.
It's utter drivel. I completely agree. I just think that, she's using jam as this sort of thing to hide behind. But the reality of the situation is that she's doing nothing brave in her life. I mean, for 5 years, or almost 6 years, she's been out of the royal family. She's been said that she was gagged while she was in there. Clearly, she's not. I mean, she hasn't got anything better to say now. There's nothing brave about what she's doing. And I think about some of the royal family members who, fought in wars or represented the country. That's bravery, not posing for a photo shoot with Harper's Bazaar. It's ridiculous.
Well, there's two other things from there that we picked out. She spoke about Harry, his childlike wonder and playfulness.
I think he would hate that.
Do you think he would?
I think he would hate that. Yes, I think he'd absolutely.
Because a couple of days ago, she was showing, the amazing footage when he's in Helmand Province, when he's in Afghanistan, and the alarm goes, and he's the hero running off to jump in his helicopter, and then she's calling him childlike wonder and playfulness.
Yeah. I think if she did that while they were still living in the UK, he would be absolutely ridiculed, especially by his former military colleagues, who would absolutely roll their eyes heavenwards. They really would.
Okay. It's a remarkable interview, I think, and a remarkable depiction or portrayal of Meghan. Definitely worth a read. Just before we move on from it, can you tell me about this? So she was makeup-free. Is that right? On the cover shot, this is not the first time she's been makeup-free. I think with Jamie Kern-Lehman, when she did the interview, she was talking about being makeup-free during the interview. I mean, is this strong, brave Meghan? Is this a good look for her?
I mean, if this is her version of, again, bravery, this is pretty ridiculous. I mean, this was a thing that in Hollywood probably 6 years ago was some sort of form of bravery, and you would, not have makeup on. I know Pamela Anderson has been doing it among other celebrities. But I just don't think, Meghan pared back. We don't want the physical pared back of her. We would love a little bit more about what she's actually going through, a little bit more transparency. And I think that she's almost using that to deflect from the fact that she's not giving us anything within that interview. So I just think that it's a sort of farce at this point. And also, I think she probably did have makeup on. I don't think that was I don't know. I don't think it was fully her bare-faced and on the cover.
It's interesting to talk about what Meghan gave, what Samara was talking about, what Meghan gave in the interview. Elsa, you must have had many members of the royal family, just finally before we move on to the next topic, you've had many members of the royal family being approached by magazines, by broadcasters asking for an interview. There would often have to be a point behind that interview.
Absolutely.
How would it work? How would it work normally?
Normally, you'd have to have a hook. So, for example, if the Prince's Trust was 50 years old, that is an anniversary, that's a hook. So the Prince of Wales then may consider giving an interview, but actually to highlight the charity and the work that it's doing, so shining a light on the amazing work it does. I don't really see the point of this Harper's Bazaar article apart from displaying Meghan's ego. It's not about charitable endeavours, it's about her. So, what is the point? And I think, actually, I don't know whether it's sat very well with the public.
I think, I think we've all read it. I'm not sure if the public have really got engrossed in it. I will ask, what is the point? To be honest, Elsa, I'm often left thinking that when I'm reporting on Montecito. But it's really interesting that there didn't seem to be a reason for it. There didn't seem to be anything she was promoting or anything like that.
I heard it was 5 years in the making. Is this true? I read
What?
somewhere that this was 5
joking?
years that she was planning this. I don't know whether that's true or not. If I read it in The Sun, it must have been true.
Must have been true. Right, let's move on to another person who may well be speaking or may well be doing an interview if we believe the front page of The Sun, which I'm often inclined to. So Sarah Ferguson has been offered lots of opportunities to give a tell-all interview. This is obviously coming off quite a year for Sarah and Andrew with everything that's been going on. We're losing their titles, we were discussing earlier, and being kicked out of Royal Lodge. We've seen she's done interviews before. Harry and Meghan have done interviews before. Samara, should Sarah speak out?
I think it's not right that she is going to speak out, but I think she will. Should she? I mean, she needs the money. She needs the cash. It's as simple as that. This is the scenario that I worried about the most, to be honest, for the royal family, because both her and Andrew have absolutely nothing to lose at this point. Who knows whose dirty laundry they will then air out? I don't think it'll be their own, but I think that because of the big amounts of money, six-figure sums that are being thrown around for this interview, who knows who she'll talk about, because she probably won't brief about Andrew. She probably won't even really talk about herself unless it's about her struggle. She might talk about other royal family members and throw them under the bus, and that's what I'm worried about.
She's not a working royal. She's not given any money by us, the taxpayer, or by the royal family. She's not married to anyone. She's actually been a tenant for Andrew at Royal Lodge for so many years. Why shouldn't she be allowed to talk about what's going on?
She's high risk, though. She's got an extravagant lifestyle. I mean, I agree with you. Why shouldn't she be allowed to talk? I mean, she's lived amongst the royals for so many years, living with Andrew up until a couple of weeks ago. I know that she's been flung out on her own and Andrew's been put up in Sandringham, but I don't think she should be speaking out. I don't think it's appropriate.